So far in the few videos about App Insights, we've looked at some of the really advanced features like the distributed trace, and we've looked at the application map we could get in the transaction search. And one of the great things is how easy it is to get very detailed login. Um, really cool, but the trade-off is that it can be over complex and difficult to work with. So sometimes you might want to take a simplified approach, and here we're going to have a look at some of the options that you can use to do that. So if we think about the problem here is it's easy to use, but there's a lot of complicated login data. What if I just want some simple log messages to help me? What can I do? So we're going to have a look again at the railcar loaded scenario where messages come in from the plant and they go through a number of logic apps and functions, and we push them to different systems. So remembering the architecture we've got is APIM functions, logic apps. What we're going to look at this time is the login to log analytics directly from those logic apps. There's a couple of actions we can use that can help us to do stuff. So if we go into our logic app receiver, and we have a quick look at the design time view here, so you can see I've got this action here, which is a log analytics connector. So what I'm able to do is I can add this action in to my consumption logic app, and I can also add it into my logic app. So here for my logic app standard, and what you would basically do is just tell it the name of the log that you want to log to, and then you can create your own custom JSON message that's going to get logged. So this is a really easy way of being able to just craft your own specific message. The problem or the thing with logic apps is it's abstracting you from the data getting logged to analytics. So you can do things with tracked properties, for example. So I can't remember which one it's on now. Is it maybe I'll have a look at this later for the end of the video, but you can have custom fields which go in the tracked properties, which will appear in your App Insight logs. But the problem is that you don't really have a lot of control over that. So here I've got very explicit control to pass the data that I want to pass, and that'll work from standard and consumption. And also you can use SDKs if you want to send data from a function app or something like that. Now, if we go over to our log analytics over here, so this is the log analytics that my App Insights and my log analytics are all pointing to. So I can open the logs down here, and you would see we've got a few logs here. So under the hood, these are the logs that App Insights writing messages to. So here we'd have sorry, let me just delete that a minute. Here we'd have the app requests, which would appear as the request table in an App Insights workspace. So that query there is basically the equivalent of, if I go over here in the APIM App Insights, and if you notice that the table names are different, so I'm just running a basic query against that. The table names are different, but that's really because App Insights is just a view on top of log analytics, and I think historically the table names were probably different. But you'll notice here in this log, we'll have messages that came from functions and APIM and stuff all in one place. Now, when I'm logging from logic apps with that custom connector, or that custom call for the log analytics connector, I've got my own log here, which is I've just given it this name here, logic apps general, and I'm writing my own messages into here. But you can see straight away I've kind of crafted things like the name of the logic app, the run ID, and I've got a key value pair of the railcar ID and the load slip ID. So I can start doing some stuff with this using the typical custom approach. So what I might do is I might say include key one equals that. That'll let me filter straight away to just messages where that load slip ID is on them. And I might I might say only when it's that rail car as well. That should get a similar amount of messages. But if I take the rail car ID out, for example, take the load slip ID, the rail car might have been used on more cars if we go back over a period of time. So you can see that car will have been on multiple load slips over time and stuff. Um, you can then start doing some much more advanced queries and dashboards and stuff, building it from your own data model that you've kind of built in here. So I've done a lot of stuff where we might save as one of these fields, for example, up here, you might actually pass in a JSON message that you can then expand into using custom queries, and you can do some really advanced scenarios there. Um, so in the next video, we'll take a look at some of the views you can do on data in log analytics and app insights, and how you may use some of those queries to build dashboards.